Bang. Just like that, live. Just like that, people. We're live. You know what we need? Need some of this. You know, I've become obsessed, yeah, with gin and tonic. Strange. Oh, fuck. Whew. That's strong. Let's have one more. Oh, put a bit too much gin in that. That is a strong gin and tonic. What's everyone saying? How, you know what, before we start, very quickly, I've got the window open, I've got a fan in front of me. It might get pretty noisy because I'm on a busy road. Hopefully it doesn't get too noisy, and we can do this. We can do this. We can have a bit of fun for an hour, and then I'm getting the fuck out and enjoying the sun. The last of the sun anyway. Who's in here? What's this? Man like Ade back with a live, says Hassan Ahmed. You know, we got to come back now and again, you know. We got to come back now and again. What's this one? Team Banchamek said, will the green chair be moving to the studio? Of course it's moving to the studio. Very quickly on that, a few of you have been asking about the studio. We are done. We've signed off. It's a wrap. I get the keys at the end of the month. The tenant moves out and I move in. It's a nice size. Yeah, it's a nice size. Look, who wouldn't want a bit more size? But it's a nice size. I am happy with it. It's going to take a lot of work for me to get it to where I want it to be. So in my head, ideally, I'm doing a live watch along of Wilder Fury or Fury Wilder, sorry, in the studio. That's where I am. That's going to be quite difficult, but that's what I think I can do. I think I can do that. Why not? I think I can get the studio to where I want it to be, to where I want it to look like, or what I want it to look like, sorry, in 3-4 weeks. But yeah, we are moving to the studio. I'm excited. I'm a bit nervous as well because just because if I'm honest with you, obviously it costs money, the studio. I have to get way more cameras because, you know, you want to film it, you got like different angles, lighting. Yeah, but you know, I'm excited. I'm excited for the journey of what happens once I get to the studio. So thank you everyone for all your messages about the studio. I'm gonna do like so many like videos in the lead up to actually moving into the studio, so you guys can actually see the studio before I do anything with it. Almost like a follow me along journey. There won't be long videos, little 5-10 minute videos. And the good thing is, the very, very good thing is the studio is about a 15-minute walk from my house. That's literally a 2-minute drive. So if anything happens, I think a lot of you were like, oh, what if something happens, like breaking news? Or I can just literally run to the studio. Yeah. So yeah, that's happening, people. We get the keys in 2 weeks and we're in. New studio. So yeah, pumped about the new studio. Thank you for all the messages. The green chair is obviously coming to the new studio. Like the idea, yeah, just to give you an idea of how it works for me, is we have like a big, like I've got a wooden table here in front of me, so it's kind of like the table I've got here but bigger, battered, rustic. I don't like brand new shiny things. Green chair on one side and another chair on the other side. Mic there, we talk, we drink, we have fun, guests come on, guests from all walks of life as well. We do boxing nights, we do loads of watch alongs. Yeah, that's it basically. That's it. We'll see how it gets done. We'll see how it gets done. What's this one? England won. Yes, they did. England won against Croatia. It's weird. I wasn't that pumped for it for some reason. Like normally, I don't know, maybe it's because I've watched so many tournaments with England in. Like my first memory of England playing football was the 1990 World Cup. How many have there been since then? So maybe I'm just over it a little bit. But yeah, good luck, England, in the tournament. Good luck. Oh man, gin and tonic. What a summer drink. Gin and tonic must be the best summer drink there is. All right, should we talk a bit of boxing? Haydar Mahmood said Ritson looked very weak. Obviously Ritson yesterday lost to Ponce. Is it Ponce or Ponce? I think it's Ponce. But I don't like using that word Ponce. Obviously over here it means something different, right? But I think it was Ponce that he lost to. What was the ref doing, by the way? Should we talk about that very quickly? Like, the corner throw the towel in, the corner. So the corner are like, okay, our guy's had enough. He's been knocked down. He's been battered from pillar to post. Let's be real about it, guys. First round, he got the body shot, and he was done from the first round. He done well to win maybe a round, maybe two up into the stoppage. But he gets knocked down. He gets up. The corner like, all right, it's done. Right, the corner. Steve Gray's like, no, it's not done. Sorry, who the fuck are you to tell me if I'm not done? I'm sorry, it's done. What is Steve Gray doing? Then obviously Steve Gray goes into the change room after and tries to explain his decision. But I'm sorry, they need to change that ruling. So the ruling is, look, only the referee can stop the fight, right? If a towel comes in, that's it. The fight's over. The idea of the ref throwing the towel out is some bullshit. Honestly, it's some bullshit. I mean, he's lucky. Imagine Steve Gray is so lucky. Imagine after he threw the towel out, Ponce landed something clean on Lewis Ritson and damaged him. Stupid decision there by Mr. Steve Gray. I don't know what he was thinking about. Don't know. Crazy from the ref. Who's this one? Team Batman Boxing. Disgusting from the ref. Yeah, disgusting. Absolutely stupid. Ritson's an interesting one, just in the sense that since he, like, I remember when Ritson was sort of just ran through everyone over here at 135, and I was thinking, geez, that's a dangerous man. Gone up to 140, and it's weird. He just gone up one weight class, gone up 5 pounds, and that power that he was able to hurt the Brits with just isn't there at 140. Like, he was hitting Ponce with everything, and that kid was just walking through them. Like, that must be, and I've said this before on this channel, but that must be so demoralizing when you're landing everything, the whole fucking kitchen sink, and the kid is just walking through them. And you know you're hurt. Like, you've been hurt to the body. You're tired. You can't breathe. And this kid is just literally fucking running through your punches. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do with Ritson next. I'm definitely not in the he should call it quits fucking brigade. I'm not in that. I don't think he should call it quits at all. But just, we now know where his level is, right? His level is just below. It's almost like fringe European level. So look, that's where he is. That's where he's going to stay. He can still have exciting fights. He obviously has an exciting fight style. But when it comes to top European level, fringe world level, and world level, he just isn't that guy. He isn't that guy. He's got one style of fighting, which he's always had. And they haven't been able to kind of add any more tools to that style of fighting. And once you meet someone like he did yesterday, who fights similar to he does, but just has a bit more, you kind of get found out a bit, don't you? You finally get found out. Okay, so face the kids in the building saying Ponce. Okay, cool. Ponce it is. Who's this? LJ Masha and Jim Lemonade. Nah, so I've gone Jim and oh shit, the camera. The fuck the camera up there. 1 second. Wait, that way, innit? Is it that way? No, that's my door. You don't want to see that. There you go. Oh fuck it, you can see the door. I've gone gin and tonic water. It is good. All right. Somebody saw someone say, shout me out, Ade. Who said shout me out, Ade? Sorry, peeps. Quite a lot of you messaging me. Is this in boxing with Jake Parsons? Ade's back. Ade's never left. Ade's never left. Oh. 786 NAF says, Ade, I really don't want AJ Fury to happen. I don't want them to get beaten in the next fight. So boxing can learn its lesson. No. I don't want that. I'm not with you on that. I hope the fight happens. I don't want them to get beat. I understand what you're saying. I don't want that. Stephen Tokley says, I made a decent amount on Ponce. Say, KO, TKO. Where's Ritson go now? Just as I said, I think he just stays at British level. That's it. No shame in that. Stays at British level, has some fun fights. Eddie's always been doing these shows, especially now with DAZN. He's going to be doing more of these shows in European markets. He just is one of those guys that maybe fights in, I don't know, Italy, Monaco, fights in Newcastle. He's obviously clearly got a fan base still. So he does those. Oh, there you go. James Preston says, shout out my son. Don't know your son's name. 1 second. The ref wanted the fighter to go out on his shield. What's wrong with that? This is the crazy thing about that. And obviously, look, you're joking. But it's like the ref wanted a bit more. Like, no, you've got a bit more, Ritson. Have a go. I'm thinking, what the fuck is this? Like, mental. Like, honestly, the British Boxing Board Control should have a word with Steve Gray. They won't, or they will pretend they have, but they won't. They won't at all. LJ Mash says, definitely bet on that fight. The ref definitely did. Talita says, hola, people. Hola, Talita. Stevenson is the real deal addict. Not sure about that. We'll talk about that in a minute. Very quickly, retirement. Billy Joe Saunders has come out and said he's 50-50. I don't know if I believe that or not, but he's come out and said he's 50-50. And that, what did he say? He says, if my dad tells me to call it quits, I will call it quits. I kind of done a video about this the other day, and a lot of you didn't care if he retired or not, which I thought was a bit harsh. Like I've always said, get in, get rich, get out. If there's more money to be had, like big money, then maybe stay for a bit longer. If there are any big fights he can take next to make good money, then maybe he should stay for a bit longer. I don't know if there are. I'm not quite sure what are the big fights of Billy Joe Saunders that make real money. A lot of you have said things like Chris Eubank Jr. I don't know if that makes a lot of money. Billy Joe versus Chris Eubank Jr. I think the build-up will be interesting. I don't think... When I say real money, by the way, I'm talking like big money. 5, 6, 7, 8, upwards of 10 million. That kind of money. I don't know if it does that. It doesn't... In fact, I know it doesn't do that. And I know none of the other fights at 168 do that either. So I'm not quite sure what he's staying about for. You know? I'm not sure. So we'll see. Basic says there have been cases where the ref has ignored the towel and the boxer ends up winning the fight. Very, very true. But, and let's be honest here, Base, watching that fight yesterday, that was only going one way. You know, like in those fights that you're talking about, Base, because Base is right, by the way, but in those fights, I've kind of seen the fights go back and forth, right? It's like, oh, this is all out action. That fight was one-way traffic. I mean, even when Ritson landed a couple of these, and Ritson did land a couple of really good combinations, they did nothing to deter Ponce. Nothing. He was just walking through them. Walking through. Like I said, Ritson got hurt with a body shot. The fight could have been done in the first round. So Ritson, what I'm getting at here is that Ritson showed me nothing in that fight to make me feel like, oh, you know what? You never know. He could land one clean. Nothing. Like, Ponce's legs did not buckle once in that fight. I've watched it back twice. He did not fall on the ropes once and cover up like he's, you know, like Ritson's having his way. Zero. And if that's the case, once the towel comes in, stop the fight. Stop the fight. Once the towel comes in. If there was any success for Ritson during that fight, you maybe do what Steve Gray did. You maybe think, you know what? Who knows? But there was nothing. It was literally one-way traffic, and that's why I think it was a bad decision. Paul Taylor says Steve Gray has explained it to Ritson in the locker room, and it's on match. Yeah, I saw it. And what Steve Gray is saying that he was saying that most of the shots that Ponce was landing were to the body. He said if he got caught with a couple of clean headshots, he would have stopped the fight. But still, again, it's like someone throwing the towel in. It's quite rare, you know, in boxing. You think of all the fights that happen. It's not, you know, the towel doesn't come in all the time. For the towel to come in, the corner saying it's enough. They don't want to do that. It's enough. The only thing that I will say is that when the towel did come in, Ritson did look a bit upset, and maybe Steve Gray saw that as well and was like, okay, no, Ritson's got a bit more left. Maybe. That's the only thing I will say. Because I remember watching it, and Ritson did look a bit like, oh, for fuck's sake, don't stop it. But yeah, Ritson wasn't doing enough in that fight for me to think that he was going to somehow get over or survive the next, 2 rounds. Nothing. Jake Johnson says, imagine what Josh Taylor would do to Ritson. I don't want to imagine it. And if I'm honest with you, I do not want to imagine it. Ian Hamilton says the ref should be demoted to 6 rounders as punishment, but we all know the British board will do nothing and give him a slap on the wrist. Shocking, I'd say. It's true, you know, like in football, when a ref fucks up, they will go down from the Premier League to the Championship or even League One as a punishment. Like, that will happen. You won't see them ref a couple of weekends in the Premier League. They just disappear for a while. There needs to be some sort of punishment for refs. Oh, my laptop's about to turn off. One second. And we're back. Yeah, there needs to be some sort of punishment. Darts the Run Pump says, man, like, hey, congrats on the new studio. Guys, I can't lie to you. I'm so excited about it. I'm so excited about the new studio. Just because I feel like, I don't know, man. I'm just excited by it. I'm excited by the challenge of it all. I'm excited by like having guests come in. Because right now, this by myself is quite difficult. Kind of boring. I've kind of done it now, all this talking to my fucking self. I feel like I want to have guests on and speak to guests, all guests from all walks of life. So I'm excited. What's this one? About Peter Desden says, Billy Joe Saunders can fight Andre, then try to get a rematch with Canelo. Slim, anorexic. Chance beats Canelo, but that's the money route. It ain't never getting a fight with Canelo again. Never. Like, no chance. Like, you couldn't even sell that fight again. There's no way Jose does he get an opportunity, and that's why I guess you call it anorexic. It's less than that. It's bones. There is nothing. There's no meat on that body for him to get a Canelo rematch. As for Andrade, that is. I just said there's no money in the Eubank fight. There is less money in the Andrade fight. That would be snooze fest. So no, that ain't gonna happen. Blue Collar Sports Tech guy says, how much does your studio cost in a month? I can't really tell you that, can I? But it's costing a bit more than I would have wanted, put it that way. I maybe underestimated the cost of it. When I was looking at some studio, you know, that's not true. I underestimated how big a studio I would want and need for the idea I have. So the one I looked at initially, which was a good amount of money, I went in and I was like, it's way too small. So then I had to kind of get a bit serious and, you know, spend a bit more. But that's okay. You know, I'm lucky, right? I work for TalkSport, do a bit on Sky, so I get paid half decent. So I'm okay. I'm okay. But if you want to fucking donate to chat, I mean, you can donate to the studio if you want. But no, I'm joking. I'm all right. 2 seconds. Stephen Tokley, good point here, says, if Ponce was getting smacked up the way Ritson was in the 8, it would have been stopped. Let's not lie. The British Boxing Board of Control are disgracing happening for a good while. Yeah, he was getting smacked up, wasn't he? And to the point where it was almost turning his head. Not like he was quitting. He's got this way of, when he ducks the punches, he almost turns away. And it was getting smacked up. It was getting smacked up. I think the thing that helps him is none of the punches were really clean on the chin. Like, you know, when someone's head just bounces back, he was deflecting the punches quite well. He got caught with a couple of big uppercuts, which obviously made his head bounce up a bit, but he didn't look like he was out on his feet that much. I will say that. But yeah, it wasn't great, was it? All right, what we got here? Oops. Bag Nasher says, Addy, you got some big things in the pipeline. Yes, I have. Oh, you know what? That's a lie. I actually don't. We're going on a whim here, people. I've got some ideas. These aren't things that I've written down or anything. They're just ideas that I have. But yeah, we'll see what happens within it. We'll see what happens. Povetkin has announced his retirement, by the way. It just came out about an hour ago that Povetkin has retired from boxing. Makes sense. What was he, 41, 42? He looked awful in that Dillian White fight, didn't he? Awful. He didn't even look that good in the first Dillian White fight. He just landed that beautiful shot, but he looked awful. Age has obviously caught up with him. He's had some big fights. He must have made some good money in those fights as well. He's had a good career, solid career. So yeah, no surprise that he has called it quits. I see that Top Rank have or Sky have got Top Rank now, right? Good move for us fight fans, right? I mean, because sometimes these shows, especially those American shows, we just can't get them. You're having to like get these random fucking like Fight TV and Premier Sports apps and all that stuff just to get them. So those now are done. At least we can watch a lot of the, like now, just with Sky. Well, I say just, you're gonna have to have Sky Sports, the Zone app, BT Sports, but it's getting lesser. It's getting lesser. Before, you need so many apps to watch these fights, so should be good. What's all this? Sammy Hassani, hopefully I've pronounced that correct, says it all starts with an idea, Addy. It does all start with an idea, peeps. It's going to be really fun, though. The journey is going to be fun. I can't wait for you guys to be on the journey with me. It's going to be fun. I saw this. Adil Shakut says, thoughts on Ben fighting Granados. Didn't you call this one, Addy? I said it. I said Granados. Immediately after Ben won, I said Granados. Man, them man obviously listened to me. But no, I said Granados. I don't know. I don't mind it. Some people seem to be upset about it. Some people expected to see Avanesian or Cavialasco. So I don't know what people expected. Sean Porter. I don't know what people expected. I like Granados at the fight. I think, again, remember, I can understand why we're excited about Ben. But you have to have a bit of caution as well. Ben has had no amateur experience. He's still learning on the game for me. I think Granados is a good matchup for him. I think it's a good fight on the trajectory that Ben's on. I like the fight. I don't mind it at all. What's this from CRB? What's he saying now? Congrats on the new studio. That's the nice side. Here's to the monthly rent. All Sky and TalkSport do Fury versus AJ documentary scenes from the studio. That would be awesome. This man ain't stopping, is he? This man ain't stopping. All right, yeah, you were right. You were right about Fury AJ. I was wrong. How long are we going to keep this up for? How long? Lewis Moore, this is in reference to Povetkin, one of the best Russian boxers of all time, without a doubt. Yeah, Povetkin was a madman, you know. When Povetkin was on the juice as well, like he was on the juice, he was vicious. Go back in it if you haven't seen it. But Carlos Takam, go and watch that fight. Woo! Manuel Charles, he literally takes Manuel Charles' head off. Head off. Even hurt AJ, stung AJ in their fight, I think in round 2 or 3. Honestly, great boxer. Very good career. Very good amateur career as well. Olympic gold medalist. Oh, yeah, solid career, man. Only lost to what? Dillian White, Klitschko, and AJ. I mean, that's not too shabby at all. I said Takam there, didn't I? Frank Warren's trying to make Joe Joyce versus Carlos Takam. I mean, that's a big drop off from Joe Joyce versus Usyk. Joe Joyce versus, I mean, I'm a fan of Carlos, but come on, brother. Joe Joyce versus Carlos Takam. You need to do better than that. You need to do better than that, man. Mark McCoy says, good news. This is about the studio. Hopefully, you will make a British version of Showbiz the Adult. I like Showbiz the Adult, but we're very, very different in what we're trying to do. I'm trying to get all sorts on, if I'm honest with you. Like, we're not moving away from boxing, but we're going to do boxing and other stuff as well. I'm trying to get fucking musicians, writers, actors, authors, everything, like literally everything on. Fucking people that have been to war. When I say everyone, I mean everyone. Ian Hammond says, damn, CRB isn't going to stop. I seriously would love to meet him. Me and him would be a relentless debate. You can chair that, Ade. We'll get decent views. Yeah, CRB doesn't stop. When he's right, he's right. I think the thing for CRB is that he ran away when he thought the fight was going to get made. AJ Fury, man, disappeared, vanished. I stood here. I stayed here. When Fury versus Wilder was made, I came on and made a video. CRB ran when he thought AJ Fury was done. Ran. Nathan says, Granados is a solid gatekeeper, has a lot of miles on the clock. Now I'd rate him a bit better than Vargas. Interesting that you rate him better than that. Good matchmaking for Ben if they want to get him on an American show. I like it as well. This is what I'm saying. It's like, you've got to be careful with Ben. You know what it is as well? The next step up at 147 is when it gets a bit scary. But like when you beat the Vargases, look, think about it. Virgil Ortiz beat Vargas 2 fights ago. Virgil Ortiz then beat Morris Hooker. Now they're talking about Virgil Ortiz going one more step. Like Ben isn't too far away from the Virgil T's route. So I think Ben's a couple of levels down below that. But you beat Granados, you beat Vargas, then you've maybe got to look at someone like a Cavialascos. You've got to look at the Avenetians, or you maybe look at an experienced vet like Colazo. It starts to get dangerous very, very quickly. So the matchmaking has to be right for Conor Benn. I'm excited. I love Conor Benn. I go onto his YouTube channel. I love everything he's doing. But there's sharks. There's fucking sharks everywhere. 147 pounds. Trust me. So they got to be careful. What's this one? Adil Shakur says Warrington on the Galahad undercard. Lara rematch. Is that true? I don't even know that if that's true. I don't even know. That's embarrassing if that's true, by the way. I forgot all about Warrington versus Lara and that rematch. That is danger. You lose that. Anyway, let's not go there, but that's danger. That David Price KO. Oh, that was awful. He's talking about Povetkin Price, by the way, if any of you are wondering. That was just brutal. Like, just disgusting. This will stop when the bell goes ding for Fury Wilder. No, I did not run. I just couldn't watch live streams about a fake fight any longer. He's chatting shit. Man ran. Don't listen to him. He ran. He thought it was done and he ran. I actually can't wait now. I'm over AJ Fury not happening. Now I actually can't wait for Fury Wilder. Sold. I'm done. I'm sold. I can't wait for it. Should be a good one. Like, let's be honest, who would be like, it wouldn't be the biggest upset of all time if Wilder knocks Fury out. It really wouldn't. Oh, I can't wait for that fight, man. What's this one? This is madness. From Rohitson says Ben should fight Ennis. No, he should not. No, he should not. Should swerve that like a fucking plague. Laura Kavanagh says Ben needs a few more fights to learn more and get more. What was that code trip of himself? Control of himself. He's very, very young yet. Well, I feel like there's more to this that I've missed. But basically what Laura's saying is correct, right? He does need a few more learning fights. There's not much you learn about yourself when you beat someone like Vargas that, you know. I mean, you get the win and it's exciting, but I feel like I would have loved to have seen a few more rounds. Love to have seen him come through a bit of adversity. Love to see him go through the gears, switch up, try different things. When you destroy a guy like that quick, I mean, yes, you learn that you've got power. I think we all know Ben's got power, but you kind of need a bit more. Ibrahim says, do you think Conor Ben can beat Jaron Ennis? No, I do not. No, I do not think that could happen. And that's not, no disrespect, but Ennis is a bit naughty, you know. Ennis is a bit naughty. Ennis is one of those ones that everyone thinks is going to be something special in a couple of years' time, maybe less, 12 months' time, maybe. So, no. I actually wouldn't mind seeing Ennis versus someone like Sean Porter now. By the way, we're getting Eddie Hearn on my show tomorrow. I say my show. Me and Gareth A. Davis do a boxing show. TalkSport 2. Tomorrow it's from 3 to 4 o'clock. Matchroom are doing their where they invite all the media to the Matchroom Towers in Brentwood. Obviously, I'm going to be on my show, but I think Gareth A. Davis is going there. So he's going to get Eddie Hearn on the show live, and we're going to do Eddie Hearn live on the show, which is going to be interesting. That came out so wrong. We're going to do Eddie Hearn live on the show. That came out wrong, boy. Silver Fox 1. Silver Fox says, I hope Fury loses. I don't know if I don't want him to lose. I don't hope that at all. Are you saying that because of the fallout between AJ and Fury? I don't hope he loses. I don't. Haydar Mahmood says Warrington commentary on Galahad versus Dickens. Eddie Hearn confirmed, and Warrington versus Lara 2 September 4th in Leeds. Okay, cool. Didn't know this. Stephen Tokyo says, did you know anything about Ponce being with Frank Warren? Came out of nowhere Saturday. Did not know this. Wouldn't shock me though. Just because Wouldn't shock me just because fucking Frank's got his fingers in various pies. Oh, what's this? What's this? What's this? Have you heard the theory that the whole Fury Wilder saga being scripted and Wilder is supposed to win the trilogy fight to up his profile? Based on everything we've seen so far, it's not a far reach. It can't be. It can't be. No. Base, come on, brother. It can't be. It can't be. I mean, if it's scripted, I mean, then this deserves a fucking Oscar, because all the tension it's caused, all the racial tension. I mean, getting rid of his trainer, Mark Britt. No, it can't be. No. And I've not heard anything about that either, by the way. If that's true, no, it can't be. It can't be. It can't be. Surely not. Not having that. This is a good fight, isn't it? Rowan Perry. Thoughts on Loma versus Nakatani. Yeah, I'm a bit fearful for Loma, and the reason I'm not, I don't think he's going to lose, but I'm a bit fearful about how his body's holding up now. I mean, this guy's had a long career, and I'm talking about the amateur stuff with it as well now. He's had how many shoulder surgeries now as well? 2, 3? I think it might be 3. I think he had one early in his career as well when he was an amateur. So, and 2 as a pro, and they're big surgeries as well. One before the Pedraza fight. I think Pedraza fought yesterday and won, didn't he? And that one after the Teofimo. I don't know if you guys saw the one after the Teofimo Lopez fight. Man had screws in his shoulder. Like screws. Big, thick fucking screws in his shoulder. I mean, and for someone like him that's always relies on his movement, his mobility, not just of his lower, like his legs, but his upper body movement, I'm wondering what's left. I am. I mean, Nakatani as well is very long. Very long. It's going to be an interesting fight. I love Teofimo. I love Loma, and I definitely don't want to write him off. But, I mean, once the injuries start coming, they don't just it gets worse, doesn't it? It gets worse as you get older as well. All the training camps, it gets older. So I wouldn't be shocked if he's not the Matrix anymore, if he's not high tech anymore. I wouldn't be shocked. I ain't even reading that shit. I'm gonna send you $1.99 back. By the way, I don't know if you guys know this. I'm hearing. Wait, let me ask you guys first. Does anyone know what the scorecard was for Ritson versus Ponce before the stoppage? I'm hearing bad. Like we would have been rioting again. Put it that way. Need to hear it. Anyone know before I kind of reveal what I heard? What's Adil Shakut saying? Maybe Loma has taken too much damage. Yeah, tough fights with Linares, Pedraza, Campbell, and now Lopez. Yeah, so it's tough fights. It's sparring. It's fighting out of a weight class, which look, that isn't his weight class. Like Loma might be the smallest 135 I've seen in a long. Might be the smallest 135 I've seen ever. Like look, Loma's the kind of guy really that look. He 100% should be fighting at 130, and he could kill himself to get down to 126. He is not a 135 guy, and these guys are just too big, too strong. Well, that's a big problem. Rohitson says, "Who do you think is next? Sorry, for Andy Ruiz. I'm guessing they're saying him. Well." They've got Kalnaki versus Helenius. By the way, what a fight card that's getting to be, by the way. So Fury Wilder, for those of you who don't know, I'm sure you guys know, but Kalnaki versus Helenius, which was a fun fight. F.A. Jagba versus Frank Sanchez. Anyway, back to the question. I think he will fight the winner of Kalnaki and Helenius, and they're hoping it will be Kalnaki. That was what the plan was before. So I think they're going to go for Kalnaki, fight if Kalnaki can get past Helenius. If Helenius wins, they might go another route. They might go somewhere else. But I think Kalnaki will get the revenge. And I think they'll go Kalnaki, Ruiz. Someone here, Paul Taylor saying Parker Ruiz too. Nah, I don't think they'll go. I don't think they'll go that. You never know. Team Batman Boxing says Nakatani broke his orbital. in his last 2 fights. He's clearly the more damaged guy. Loma beats him by stoppage and makes it look easy. I hope so. I hope so. I'm a big Loma fan, so I want Loma to almost shut up the naysayers who somehow think he's done because he lost to a very good Teofimo Lopez. That's the problem with boxing fans, right? It's like you can't even lose anymore. Like you can't even lose rounds. Devin Haney lost a couple of rounds against maybe a round or 2 rounds against Linares. People were digging him out. I'm like, you can't lose rounds? Like, the fuck, man. So yeah, I hope that Loma does win, and I hope that he then gets a chance against one of these other young guns. I really do. Ideally, I hope he gets Teofimo Lopez rematch, but I don't think that's going to happen. Okay. I love how you guys in the chat are arguing about AJ. Is it Carl Green and someone else are going back about AJ and steroid use and this and that? Man. Frederick says Loma outschools Valdez, Oscar Valdez all day long. But I'm sorry, Valdez is now in the Reynoso camp with Canelo. Valdez, let me not say what I want to say. Anyway, I'm just saying he's in that camp. That camp, kind of funny. Ash 1 says, or Ash I, or 1. Would you say it's a 1? Is that a 1 or an I? I? Should we say I? Ash I said, bro, who wants to see Parker box again? Man refuses to throw his hands. Yeah, I have no interest in seeing Parker box again either. That's rude. Not no interest, but not for now. It's a good one. That is a funny one. FA versus Sanchez. Loser has to show his birth certificate. I think that's a bit harsh on Ajagba because I think he actually looks his age. Sanchez is not his age. Sanchez is supposedly many, many years younger than me. To be fair, look, we all age differently, but I'm not having Sanchez be his age. But I don't know why we're so fixated about someone's age when it comes to boxing. Like, like just let them fight. I just care about what they do in the ring. So we'll see. We'll see. All right, Aj-Usyk says, I think Kanaki gets chinned again. He started as a disaster in the making. No, I think he'll beat Hellenius this time. In fact, I'm very confident he'll beat Hellenius this time. By the way, that was Sky's last event with Matchroom, right? Or Matchroom's last event with Sky. What is the best? I'm going to read them out. I'll read out all of them and show them on the screen. What is the best event you think Sky have put on with Matchroom in the last 10 years? Like, I'll tell you mine, which I just thought blew my mind. I remember watching him, just the atmosphere. Carl Froch versus Lucien Boutte. Fuck me, that was the noise. The noise was incredible. Bellew versus Hay 1. Not the fight. Again, I'm talking atmosphere. The atmosphere was just like, this is mental. And AJ versus Klitschko, Wembley, liftoff. Now, those are my best 3. I mean, they've done some fantastic work together, man. It's a shame that it's done. They've done some fantastic work together. Let's put a few up on the screen. What are we saying? Adil Shakut says, for me, it's Froch versus Groves too. Dude, that was incredible. I was in a pub with Ryan, my friend Ryan, watching that, and just that punch to end it and then to retire 80,000 Wembley. Incredible. Jordan Stevens says Joshua versus Klitschko. What a like, but like boxing in stadiums like that with 80, 90,000, that ain't normal, That ain't normal. That was incredible as well. Klitschko was in great shape. Joshua was in great shape. Klitschko could have got rid of Joshua, had his opportunity. If that was Vitali that put AJ down, AJ ain't getting back up. Vladimir is a bit more tentative, isn't he? But yeah, great one as well. What's this one? AJ White, crowd was crazy. Crowd was mad for that one. I've never been so patriotic towards, because that one, obviously both of them are Brits, but obviously their background, one Jamaican, one Nigerian. And I've never wanted a Nigerian to win so badly. I was like, come on, AJ, don't let us down. That was great. That was a great one as well. Lewis Moore says Joshua Klitschko will be remembered for years and years. Incredible atmosphere. Just football-like atmosphere, right? A lot of you saying Joshua Klitschko. Team Batman Boxing says Froch versus Groves 2, the ring walks. Ooh. You know what? George Groves deserves so much credit in that fight. The way in which he sold that fight, the way in which remember, he like you guys must remember DeGale versus Groves, and DeGale was the bully. Do you remember that? The way Groves spun it around that fight, and almost was happy to take on the role of the antagonist and almost bully and like just take the piss out of Carl Froch. Loved it. And it helped so much because of the way the first fight ended. Fantastic. A lot of you have sent them in. 2 seconds. I'm going to quickly. So many of you are sending them in. All right. Paul Taylor says Joshua versus Klitschko as well. Joshua versus White. There's Base the Kid. The whole card was amazing. It was sick. And Stormzy coming out with AJ. Fucking hell. Mad. AJ versus Klitschko says Usman Mahmood. Froch Groves won the build-up. And I didn't, funny, I remember the build-up and I wasn't too excited about the build-up. I remember just thinking, I actually was thinking, oh, Groves is going to get run through. Like Froch is too big, too strong. And in the end, wasn't the case. Is this, I don't know if this is, I can't remember this one. Dave Allen, Lucas Brown was amazing at the O2. I'll tell you what the worst one was. Isaac Chamberlain versus Lawrence Okoye. That was one of the worst ones ever. Worst ones ever. Gareth Craddock says Sky Matchroom got to be Joshua versus Klitschko. Both went down. A real John Wayne style fight. It was an amazing fight. And as much as people diss Adam Smith, I don't know why, but Adam Smith on commentary that evening was as good as it gets. Like he was actually special on commentary. Bad Nasher says don't sleep on Froch versus Groves 1 was a mental atmosphere. You know why? Okay. It became a mental atmosphere. It actually wasn't at the start. When Groves put Froch down, I don't know what I was doing. I have to try and remember what I was doing, but I remember I nearly died because I was either drinking or eating something. I remember like nearly choking on, like I couldn't believe it. And it was hot. You know what? Yeah. Credit to Froch, For Froch took a battering from rounds 1 to like 6. How Froch survived, Froch has got my respect, Froch will always have my respect. Max Kellerman on commentary duty during Joshua Klitschko. I've not really heard that one, I've just listened to the Adam Smith commentary, which I thought was really good. Lewis Moore, White Chisora 1 and 2 were great at the time. Oh, both of them. Those two, yeah. Those two are just, they're perfect for each other. They're just the same human beings. That the anger they have for each other is fantastic. They'll always, I wouldn't be shocked if they try and go down that route again, Wouldn't be shocked. All right. What else we got here? Big Bunty says, I love the echo of Mike at Wembley fights when they are counting down the knockdowns. It's like, I can't wait for big time boxing to come back. I can't wait. I think there was what? About 1,000 at the Ritson fight yesterday. I can't wait for there to be big numbers again, man. I feel like it's just missed. That those big numbers are just missed. Ben Odom says here, big super chat. Thank you, Ben. Really appreciate it. Honestly, really appreciate it much. Ade's first 5 guests in the studio. AJ, Ultra Tech. Ultra's fantastic. But Ultra won't come on camera. Joe Rogan, jeez. Eddie Hearn and awkward Dillian White. I'll tell you, I'll put it out there. My first dream guest, the first guest this might be a bit left field for you guys. It might be my mum. The first guest might be my mum. And I just want to have like this a conversation with her about everything. So the first guest, people might be a bit somber. Bring out your tissues. It might bring, you might shed a couple of tears, but I want the first guest to be my mum. Then AJ, I do want Eddie Hearn. I want a footballer, I want a football manager. I want various guests. In a dream world, who would be the dream guest if I could choose anyone in the world to talk to? Don't know, maybe even someone like Jay-Z or something. or Kanye West, someone fucked up like that would be interesting. That would be interesting. But my mum's definitely going to be the first guest. Without a doubt. My mum, what she's been through, right, coming over from Nigeria to here, saw that kind of single mum life, bringing up sort of 5 or 6 of us. I'd love to know her journey. I never really have got to understand her journey. I think I take it for granted. So my mum will definitely be the first guest I speak to, 100%. Ben, why don't you become the first guest? Because Ben's probably some secret millionaire. Lewis Moore, Joshua Klitschko was also pretty big in the US, did almost 900,000 Showtime views. Wilder Ortiz did 1.1 million for context. That's crazy. That is crazy, right? Okay. But Carl Green in the comments who is Carl Green actually arguing with in the comments? I might have to get involved myself. Aj-Usyk says Froch pulled it out of the bag, got the Warriors code. Froch 100% is the Warriors code. I know you do a laughing emoji out there, but Froch 100% is the Warriors code. Like, you know what? Yeah. What is that thing again with Johnny Nelson? The sit down with Johnny Nelson, Carl Froch, and George Groves. What's that behind the gloves? I can't remember what it's called. But that bit, Froch says to George Groves that I'm old school. You know, I'm built for 15 rounds. You're not about that life. It says something along those lines. So it wasn't even the handshake bit. It's when he said to George Groves, I would love it to be old school, 15 rounds. I knew George Groves had lost. I knew he'd lost. At Jay France, I just want Addy to read it out. Read what out? We don't mean to read out, Frederick. Big Bandit says the Price versus the Povetkin fight was amazing. Greatest atmosphere I've seen live when Price nearly chinned him in the second. Jeez, we've had some good ones. This is one of the worst ones. Hay versus Harrison. Jeez, that was a bad one. That was a bad one. That was a bad one. I'm gonna miss. You know what? Yeah, I tell you now. Yeah, I love fucking Kell Brook. When Kell Brook retires, I hope someone else brings out He's All of the Lights track, Kanye West, Rihanna. When that comes on, oh man, I love Kell Brook. That is the best walkout music there is right now in British boxing. All of the Lights, love it, absolutely love it. All right, what else we got? What are you guys saying? What's this one from IA? Will you attend Aj-Usyk? September 25th, they're saying that is now, right? So I probably would like to think so. Hopefully. I mean, some of these I need to attend more boxing events. I don't go to enough, to be honest with you. I talk a lot of boxing shit, but I don't go to the events. But I do want to go. This was a good one. Good atmosphere as well. Kessler Froch too. That was very, very good, peeps. Oh, I forgot about this one. Oh, this is a good one. GGG versus Brook was hype. You know when Brook wobbled GGG in the second round. I say wobbled. It made GGG go backwards. And remember, that was GGG that literally just looked like you can't even dent the motherfucker. Atmosphere turned up quickly. Nothing better than a fight. I haven't been to fights in America. Look, I haven't been to fights anywhere, or Africa, obviously. Nothing better than a British atmosphere for fights, you know. There's nothing. We bring that kind of football element to it. That's what it is. It's a football element. Most big boxing fans are football fans as well. And we bring that kind of noise, which is incredible. Ron Perry says, Mama Oladipo. Yep. So my mom's gonna be the first guest, people. The first guest on the show is going to be the mum. It's going to be the first guest, without a doubt. That's going to be interesting, right? Having me interview my mum. That's going to be interesting. But yeah, I can't wait to do it. I can't wait to actually see what she has to say. Adil Shakut says, Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson kind of strange though, man. When I watch his interviews, like, I don't know if he's always high or always on some form of medication, but Mike Tyson's kind of, I don't know. Jackie Chan man says that. Yeah. That's funny. What we got here? That's what it's called. The gloves are off. The gloves are off. Yeah, Carl Froch versus George Groves, gloves are off, was just, I mean, I love the Derek Chisora one where he throws water in Dylan White's face. That one's really good. I can't believe that Sky have still not released Jarrell Miller versus AJ, gloves are off. What are they waiting for? What are they waiting for? Come on, man. They've got to do it, man. They've got to do it. All right, let's talk about this. Let's talk about this. How does Yard versus Arthur rematch go? You know, I find quite strange that they're both fighting on the same card and not against each other. So I have no idea how it goes because I don't think it's going to go, if I'm honest with you. Arthur, rightly so, wants a bit of cha-ching, right? A bit more money. And I don't know. I don't think the fight's going to get made. Like, it's even weird. I don't know if you guys have seen the fight poster. The fight poster is those two. It's almost like they're going to fight each other. They've got those two like really big image and then their opponents like that on either side. Like, just make the fucking rematch, man. Stupid. What's this? That was actually not bad. That was, that was very underrated. I like the shout. Fowler Fitzgerald was fantastic. It was. I'm trying to say, Sky have done some really good stuff with Matchroom. A lot of people are like, I'm upset to see it go, if I'm honest with you. I thought it was a good partnership. I thought it was a really good partnership. No, this is different level. This is different level, blood. Jared Thompson is my spirit animal. I'm guessing Jared Thompson's about my age, like around late 30s, early 40s. Ben McClellan could be the greatest atmosphere I've ever heard in a boxing ring. Like, literally, the crowd were nuts. When Frank Bruno, have you guys seen it? Frank Bruno ringside. I think he's wearing, if my memory serves me right, either wearing a red suit or a green suit, and he smashes the canvas. Like, literally, he gets up and smashes the canvas to kind of roar on Nigel Benn. That atmosphere there, that was almost like football hooligans. Remember that as a kid. Obviously, the way in which the fight ended wasn't nice. Oh, another one. Ben Eubank 2, Old Trafford. Madness. There's levels to atmospheres. There's levels. There are levels. Lewis Moore says the live broadcast did 600,000-ish, but the replay the following day did 900,000. No capping, just paying attention to the detail, bro. That's mad. And he's basically talking about Joshua versus Klitschko in America. That's what it did. Good numbers. Very good numbers. Team Batman Boxing says respect at a mums at everything. Yes, they are, man. They are. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun talking to the old dear. Especially for you that have never seen my mum or heard from my mum, which I'm guessing the majority of you, be fun. But guys, honestly, I'm gonna take you on the journey to the studio as well. So for those of you that have just joined the broadcast, obviously you guys know that I've got my studio. I am very excited, very nervous. The current tenant moves out at the end of the month. So I get the keys at the end of the month. Now, in my head, I would love to do the Fury Wilder free watch along from the studio. I don't know if that's possible, though. There's a lot of things I need to do with the studio. It's like an empty shell right now. So I've got to soundproof it. I've got to get the cameras in, the mics in. I've got to paint it. I've got to decorate it. I've got to do all the things I like to do. I don't know if I can do that in, when's the fight? 23rd of July. I don't know if I can do that in 3 weeks. And in fact, I don't think it's possible. We'll have a go. We'll try. We'll try. We'll try. What else we got here? Gareth Craddock says, agree, Yard versus Arthur won't go on. Yard too limited, not saying he wouldn't beat him, but Yard's looking for a quick fix. Yard's opponent, and look, I'm a fan of Tunde. I know a lot of you are. I'm a fan of him. Maybe not so much as a trainer per se, but I'm a fan of him. I think I actually like his attitude. I like the positivity that he always brings. But Yard's opponent's a disgrace. So I say all that nice stuff about Tunde, then I just go straight for the opponent. The opponent that Yard is fighting is a disgrace. Don't be fooled by the guy having an unbeaten record. Go look at who the guy's fought. I'm sorry, that's not good enough. That's not good enough for an Anthony Yard that thought he beat Lyndon Arthur. So he's not like he's coming off a devastating loss. Do you know what I mean? It's not good enough, man. It's just not good enough. Yard had a tough 12, 18 months, right? Because of COVID. You guys know he's had some issues, sort of family issues and sort of people close to him passing away. So in the lead up to the Lyndon Arthur fight, it was always going to be mentally tough. But Yard's a mentally tough person. But this opponent he's fighting next, Yard should not be fighting that level of opponent. He shouldn't be. I find it disgraceful, if I'm honest with you. Lyndon Arthur's opponent, for me, is a guy. Lyndon Arthur's opponent's fought better records. No. Sorry, no. Disgraceful. Another classic. Macklin Moore was a classic fight. It was a classic. Rowan Perry, Bellew versus Makabu. Yeah, good. Evan in it, Goodison Park. It was a good fight. I've actually seen. Oh, this was a good one. This was a good one. Mitchell and Norris was. Whoa. I was there. I was. How the fuck did I get press accreditation? I do not know, but I was there. Press accreditation. You know why I was there? Because that's when Joshua, I believe, fought Kevin Johnson, and I interviewed Joshua in the corridor after. It was Nathan Cleverly was on that card as well. There was someone else was on that card. I think Frankie Gavin fought Kell Brook on that card. It was kind of a loaded card. Nick Blackwell fought on that card as well. I think Nick Blackwell fought John Ryder on that card. Sorry, I'm just thinking. I could be wrong with these, but I'm just thinking. But when Kevin Mitchell fought Linares, because remember Kevin Mitchell put Linares down, you know? I think people forget that. But then his eyes started to swell up, and you think Linares is sharp now. This one makes, like, Devin Haney he beat Linares, but he didn't beat the Linares. Linares was sharp back then, you know, like really crisp and sharp with his punches. But yeah, I mean, Kevin Mitchell was unlucky to not to win a world title, man. One of the best British boxers not to win a world title, Kevin Mitchell. I really liked Kevin Mitchell. Really liked him a lot. What's this one about Yard? Daniel White says, so Yard has been exposed, always fights awful opponents. Don't know about that. I mean, let's not forget he went to Russia to fight Kovalev. You know what I mean? I'm not even that nice anymore just because there's so much ice in it. All the ice is melted. Now it's just like water. Yeah, he went to Russia, but since then he's done nothing. Nothing. Or a UFC talk here. UFC 263 was yesterday. Ade, who do you think wins the McGregor-Poirier trilogy? I think Poirier beats him again. And McGregor's done. You know, good you've got to be in, like, to kind of have longevity in the UFC. Like McGregor's done. Like McGregor's got, what's he got in the bank? $500 million. Remember, he sold his proper 12 whiskey, or he's staking it anyway for like ridiculous amounts of money. You don't need this anymore. Like, he's never going to be the same hungry McGregor when he was coming up and, you know, he was begging Dana White for bonus money, 50 grand here, 40 grand there. I just don't know how you can be worth that amount of money and still be hungry. I don't know if he lives the life either, does he? He likes a bit of whiskey, he likes to live the good life. I think Poirier beats him, and maybe even a bit more convincing. Although McGregor did do well in their second fight. There were spots where McGregor landed clean shots, but he just isn't that guy anymore for me. What's this? Usman Mahmoud says, Ade, predictions for the Aj-Usyk card. For me, it's Okoli versus Makabu and Savannah Marshall, vacant title IBF. I don't know. I need to kind of see the fight camp cards first to know what's going to happen. I've got a feeling that Okoli, who looks like he's starting to get into a fight camp now, will fight on the back end of the fight camp. I've got a feeling he will do that as opposed to putting him on an Aj-Usyk card. Not sure. I can imagine someone like a Hughie Fury going on the Aj-Usyk card. He hasn't fought for a while, right? His last fight was against Maris Vac, I believe. Then it's not going to be stacked. And that's what you're hoping. It's not going to be stacked. AJ's cards are really stacked. They're not, are they, to be honest? Whitesy might get run out again. I think he needs a couple of run outs as well. Guys, shit, yeah, please don't forget to like. Don't forget to like the vids. Hit the subscribe button if you've never done that. I can share as well. Would be nice. To all of you doing that. For everyone that does that, thank you so much. Honestly, I can't thank you enough for all the likes, the shares, the subscribes. Like my like to dislikes ratio is so good. Like, thank you. Honestly, it really means a lot. Quinn Foley says, "Good evening, bro. Joining really late. Sorry. Look, joining really late. I'm happy you're here because I'm honest with you. I expected to do this live and about 100 people to tune in just because the weather's so good. Like, as soon as I finish this live, I am going out and I'm drinking. So I'm shocked that you guys are even here with me. So thank you so much for being here. Good evening. Was watching Army of the Dead. Hey, wait a minute. Is that film with wait, is that the one with where they go in the casino with that wrestler, Dave Bautista? I watched that on Netflix the other day. If that's the fight, if that's what you're talking about. I just saw Povetkin retired. Is that old news? It is. We already spoke about Povetkin a bit earlier. Good career, solid career, some good wins. I'm trying to think, what's his best win? Povetkin. Can't think of what's a good win. I don't know. I have to think about that. His best win. Oh my God, you are going back. Jackson Rose says Hamed versus Steve Robinson at Cardiff was crazy. Let me tell you what was crazy about that. For those of you that don't know, Steve Robinson, obviously Welsh, right? Or no, wait a minute. Yes, let me just double check that. I want to get that right. I think he is Welsh. Pretty sure he is, but I don't want to get that wrong. Yeah, Welsh. He is Welsh. Good. Hamed, obviously, as arrogant as he is, Steve Robinson is trying his hardest, and Hamed is just taking the piss. You can go and see the fight on YouTube, just taking the piss. And the way in which he just stops him as well. Obviously, they are, and the thing is, the Welsh fans are baying for blood. They want to kill him. I'm telling you, they want to kill Hamed. But that's what Prince Nassim Hamed was all about. So, yeah, that was a good one as well. Jeff Lacey versus Joe Calzaghe was a good atmosphere. That was a good one. What's this? What's Frederick saying? Usyk has a high chance of ruining the AJ Fury fight. I know Usyk hasn't shown much in the heavyweight yet, but he is what your Brits are sleeping on. I don't think so, man. I don't think so. Like, I honestly, I like Usyk a lot. I do, but I just ain't beating AJ. But that could be, again, that I'm happy to admit that could be the Nigerian in me. Could be the Nigerian in me. The Lost Soul says, what do you think of the potential Boatsi versus Bolotnik's fight that may be on Fight Camp? Biggest step up for Boatsi. It is, but surely we've just got to do this now with Boatsi. Like, when do we take a step up? We've got to do it. I feel like Boatsi is the kind of fight that will rise to the challenge. That's what I personally believe. It's a step up, but this is like, I had in my head when I started thinking of potential world champions, Boatsi was one of those guys that I was like, okay, in 2021, 2022, he could be challenging. He needs to go now. He needs to go now. So I think Boatsi should fight him and should get it done. All right, guys, literally got 5 minutes left. Well, 10 minutes, fuck it. 10 minutes. What the hell? 10 minutes. What's this? Kamoru Kaede says Povetkin's best win would have been against. Sorry, you're right. Would have been against Dillian White. Imagine the atmosphere if there was. Oh my God! Imagine the atmosphere if there was a crowd in there after that KO. Can you imagine? One thing about British fight fans, yeah, I think they respect the opponent. So, you know, like, I was watching the UFC yesterday, and I know the UFC guy, especially in that area, big Nate Diaz fan. Leon Edwards beat Nate Diaz. Leon Edwards is doing an interview, and they're booing him, like really booing him. I think the British fight fans respect someone when they come over here and put on a show. I think they would have given. I'm not trying to say they would have cheered Povetkin, but they would have at least given him his respect after that KO. It would have been a madness. Been a madness. Solaria says, Eden Ade, I know it's a different sport, but Djokovic versus Nadal the other day was as good as any top heavyweight boxing bout I've ever seen. For those of you that are not into your tennis, I mean, I know quite a lot about tennis. I love tennis. And he's talking about the French Open. It was a semi-final between Novak Djokovic and Rafael Nadal. Now, to put it into context, Rafael Nadal doesn't get beat on clay. Clay's his fucking surface. And they went back and forth like two heavyweight boxers slugging it out in a 15-rounder. Fuck it, 100-rounder. They were throwing blows. In the end, Djokovic won. And Djokovic won the French Open today. Came from 2 sets down to win. So Djokovic was chasing Federer with that GOAT status. All right, last couple of questions. What's this? From Frederick. Finally, I didn't read my message. Man, I feel you. I have a huge Ukrainian in me for Usyk. I always read people. I try to read as many messages as possible, you know. Just a lot come in. Everyone going on about the Paul brothers as a disgrace. Boxing did this to itself by never getting number ones versus number two in so many divisions. Another sport gets this as the best fight, the best. You know, funny things about the Paul brothers, as much as I've not really covered their exploits, I respect them. Like, you know, they get in the ring and having a go, you know. It's not their fault that they're getting paid so much money to do it. You know, they know how to promote themselves very well. It's not like they're not training and fighting. They're fighting, they're having a go. Good luck to them. I mean, wasn't there something the other day about YouTubers versus TikTokers or something? And I heard that done incredible viewing numbers as well on pay-per-view. The world's mad, people, but respect to all of them. Getting in the ring and fighting ain't easy. It ain't easy. Let's have a quick look. Okay, a lot of you are coming back about what was Povetkin's best win. A lot of you are saying white. Some of them are saying like bases got Takam or Shagayev in there. It's the way in which he took Takam's head off. If you haven't seen the knockout, go and look at the knockout of the way in which she took Takam's head off. It was actually quite scary. This is an interesting question. What's Yard's best win? One of the most overrated fighters in the UK. I actually don't think, Stephen, that he's overrated. I actually don't think a lot of people rate him, if I'm honest with you. So I don't think he's overrated. I think the issue for him is maybe Tunde talks a lot. Yard doesn't really talk that much. You know, Yard just goes in there and tries and does his business. I don't think he's overrated. I know I will always respect him for that performance against Kovalev. In the end, he didn't win, so you know it doesn't matter too much. But yeah, I'm not much of a Yard hater. I like Yard. All right, guys. Shit, we're now at 8. All right, 2 minutes left. What we saying? Last couple of questions. What we saying? Anyone got any questions? What's this? Will Stokes says Hrgovic and Majidov aren't trash fights for the stage they were at. I know what you mean, though. Mostly, I'm talking about the name. Just to have AJ and White on the same card is pretty elite. Was that a question to me? Or was he talking to someone in the group? Don't know. Mr. Sugar says, starting to pick up momentum, Addy. Now you'll be on 100K in 18 months. No, actually, you know, once I get to the studio, we're getting 100K quick. Watch. Faith. This is interesting. Rocky Ali says, Addy, what's your prediction for the new match and broadcast team? I just have a feeling that Paulie Malignaggi is going to be involved. Paulie's definitely going to be involved somehow, isn't it? And I don't think anyone from Sky's coming over. So I know people are saying, oh, Johnny Nelson might. I don't think anyone from that's coming over. I think there's going to be a few curveballs, you know. I think there's going to be a few ones that surprise people. But I think Paulie's going to be the obvious one, right? Gareth Craddock says, Addy, do you like those flavored Jack Daniels? Me, I stick old school and only drink the original sour mash. You know, I've got something in the kitchen. What have I got? I've got 2. I've got a horrible fireball one. Horrid. And I've got something else. And they're full. Not even drunk them. Awful. Awful. All right, guys. I'm shooting. I want to go in the shower. I want to go out and enjoy Sunday evening. But thank you for following me on this live. Really appreciate it. You know, I appreciate it as always. Okay, Rowan Price says Chris Lloyd. Yeah, I think Chris Lloyd will be in it. Chris Lloyd's good though. He's very, very good. He'll be in it. Yeah. And we're going to the studio, baby. We're going to the studio, baby. We're going